Because the world is round, it turns me on. Because the wind is hot, it blows my mind.
But really, I treat music more like how I treat women. Not in no disrespectful way, but you know, if you try to chase a woman, it's like, you know, you feed her too much attention, it goes to her head, you know. You can't chase a girl really in reality, you know, because she never really pays you any attention at the end of the day. And you can't trick on a girl, you know, you can't sit there and try to pay her off and try, you know, pay her way to get in her pants or anything.
Still tricking if you got it.
You know, exactly, you know.
Nobody's shit.
You know, it's still tricking at the end of the day, so she ain't gonna respect you. You know, you can't sit there and try to like kiss her ass by giving her flower roses and chocolates, because you know that's still, she ain't gonna respect you at the end of the day. So all that fast ways of getting it, trying to cut corners, it doesn't work in the long run. If you want the longevity, you gotta start off slow and then, you know, just work your way. It's gonna take time. I think the problem is with this generation is they rush and they want everything now. You know, they want their deal now. They want their big single now. You know, like it doesn't work that way. Not everyone's gonna blow up overnight. Like, and what Drake and what like some people like Drake, you know, you can't just blow overnight. You know, he didn't even do that. He was pushing hard for 3 years. If you know his story, you know, it took him 3 mixtapes to get where he's at. And you know, on top of that, he made great music. You know, I think like with another artist is J. Cole's. You know, J. Cole's had he got signed to Rock Nation and then stuff popped off. He never really had a buzz or following before that.
Right.
So, you know, it's not everyone's gonna have that story. You're not gonna walk up to Jay-Z's office and give him a tape and expect to get signed.
It took him a couple tries too.
Yeah, you know, he got turned down by Jay-Z one time. It actually, you know, it fell through like his boy's hand and the boy. You know, it didn't really work that way. So I think it's all about the longevity. That's what I'm all about. It's longevity. You know, I call it like the snowball effect. It starts off small and keeps on rolling. It's gonna get bigger by the time it hits the bottom. By the time it hits that impact, you know.
J. Cole signed the highly what's the word?
The 360 deal.
You know, I don't want to say confrontational, but you know the shit that everybody's talking about.
The whole I don't want a 360 deal. Fuck that, man. They're gonna own everything.
Right. So that's why I was trying to get your take on the 360 deal, and like, is that more of what? I think that's what the game's gonna come to.
Eventually, it most likely
the majors, like, just to be honest, like, the majors is lazy right now. If you're not doing half the work, they don't want to do it.
Exactly. So, I know a lot of people, because I think they see how the past work and how, you know, artists got jerked before with the label. You know, sometimes the labels are just somebody owning, like publishing and all this shit. And they're like, man, fuck that, fuck that, man. I gotta own it. You know, they just hear stuff like from songs like, yo, I gotta own my masters. Yeah. I gotta own my publishing. And it's like, okay, but if you never popped off, what's the point? At the end of the day, if you never had a hit single, who cares? You know? There's a lot of people that got signed to labels and they're squat. They probably like fought for that, you know, 100% everything, and they ain't know it. But my whole take on the 360 deal, honestly, if at where I'm at in my music career, if some big label was to offer me a 360 deal, I would take it. For the reason being is I don't have a huge following. I don't have a huge buzz yet. So, like for instance, like how you're saying J. Cole's got a 360 deal because who the hell was he before he got signed? Right. Nobody knew who the hell J. Cole was. Even when the come up dropped out with DJ Love, it was only like circulating in New York a little bit. So he even said it the best way. It's like, you know, yeah, the label is gonna take your show money, they're gonna take, you know, your album sales, they're gonna take whatever endorsements you have. But since they do take that, they're gonna have to work for it because they need their money back. You know what I'm saying? They wanna make money too, just as much as you. So it's honestly just you being independently, and instead of sitting here and trying to find you a booking agent and then find you a manager to handle your endorsements and then find you a lawyer, because at the end of the day, you're gonna be paying 10 to 20% to all of them. Right. The label is gonna get that 10 and 20%. So you just adding up all the money, and then, you know, it's just basically, it's like a conglomerate. Yeah. It's like all in-house and the label is doing it. Some people might fight me on this topic at the end of the day. Whatever, who cares? swag surf off a cliff. It doesn't matter to me. But at the end of the, you know, what I think of it is the label's gonna work for you. It's not that bad as it seems. Get you a good lawyer. Make sure the contract sounds right. Learn how to read a contract, matter of fact. Maybe you won't get jerked.
Shout some bad contracts. A couple of y'all done signed something. We done heard about it. Moving on. That tickles me right there. But moving on. What's next? You know what I'm saying?
What's next?
What's going on? What's the next project? You know, how far we gonna take?
The tree by itself, honest, I'm milking it. You know, that's like my baby right there. That's like when Jay-Z came in and dropped Blueprint, or when Nas dropped like Stillmatic. That's what a tree by itself was. It was like my hardcore comeback album. I made sure I did it right. I know people will probably say I'll never top it, but honestly, I love the challenge and I know I am. So that's gonna get pushed for a while, probably hard until August. But by then I'm already gonna be putting out some stuff. Me and Soy that produced like majority of the tree by itself. If y'all don't know who he is, get familiar. That's my dude. That's like my cousin from another. So me and him formed a group called FTG, which stands for Flip Them Guys. I'll be working on that. He's in the military reserves right now, so I'm gonna be doing my hand as much as I can without him. I'm planning on dropping a mixtape for that around June, maybe around my birthday. Like an FTG mixtape, just of what we already been doing.
Right.
Probably like 1 or 2 exclusive tracks. And then I'm gonna start working on the next album, which is A Man of Means. I don't know when that's gonna drop. Probably the beginning of next year. Yeah, it's gonna be a minute. It's gonna, and if people don't realize, like a tree by itself, I did the whole thing in 2 months, minus like 2 or 3 tracks, which was recorded for like 3 years ago before I took my hiatus. The majority of the project was recorded in 2 months, writing, recording, everything. So if you like a tree by itself, and I only did it in 2 months, why don't you give me a year to put out something and see what happens? You know what I'm saying? So Man of Means, that is the next project. We already planned that out. I'm already hearing what producers I'm gonna have on there. It's gonna be Soy, of course. Epidemic is actually gonna have more beats this time. We only had 2 on the last one. So Epidemic's gonna be on there. Bless, if y'all don't know who Bless is a very dope producer. Me and him been chopping it up. Like basically, if they don't know, he beat Soy at the lounge battles and the first Grind Time battles down here in Orlando.
Peace.
Yeah, very nice with it. So to have him and Soy on the same project together, it's like having like, I don't know, like it's like having Superman and Lex Luthor just working and trying to take over the world together. It's insane. So you know, I got Blessed. Of course, Unself-Titled, I want to get with him. I think he's a very underrated producer.
I have a project coming out soon, by the way. Just to put that out.
Shout out to Unself-Titled. I don't think he realized how good he is.
Yeah, I got it. He's ready to put it out.
Okay. Who else? Osna, my man down in Hawaii. I know he's doing his thing, but we're gonna try to get him on there as well. So Man of Means, FTG project. I'm also planning on this. I'm saying it now. If you motherfuckers bite this shit, I will come for your ass. But I'm planning on dropping a project where I'm rapping over all the instrumentals to the Amy Winehouse Back to Black album. It might be, I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet, like maybe Back to Rap, some shit. But I love that album to death. I love the production, and the reason what made me want to do it because I love the beat for Unholy War. And I was planning on even putting that on a tree by itself when it was originally planned to be like a mixtape, quote unquote. But since I geared to an album, I just left it out. So that project, man, I'm gonna be busy for the next couple of months.